So I'd like to thank you again, Mr. Ghasemi, for coming with us today to what is a very special place here.
You're welcome.
So yeah, this is Hafez here. This is the resting place of Hafez, the master poet of ghazals and a very famous Iranian poet. Maybe you can give us some information about him and about this place?
حافظ یک شخصیت خیلی ویژه در فرهنگ ایران زمین به خاطر اینکه در طول چند صد سال اخیر با غزلیاتی که نگارش داشته حافظ تمام دوران فرهنگی ایران رو تحت تاثیر قرار داده و تقریبا میشه گفت دنیای عاشقانه ایران بعد از حافظ یک چهره دیگه به خودش گرفته.
So Hafez has a very special place in the heart of Iranian and in the culture of Iranian. In all the times, his poems, his ghazals has been like passed away by in terms like proverbs, like sayings,
Passed into the language.
in the language by people. So it has given him a special respect by the culture, by the people of this country. So in Iranian culture, in Persian culture, there's this tradition that everyone who wants to ask for something, who has a question, who has a request or a problem, they come to Hafez and they ask him for an answer, which we call it Hafez Fall, which is very famous as Hafez Fall. And it's something which is like people believe in it so much by heart that they come here and they take the fall, they listen to him, and he never disappoints his followers. He never disappoints his followers. So before, like years before, this place was a public graveyard. And but because of the importance of Hafez being here, resting here, this kind of gave a forgotten like grave to all the other graves. So all of them during the time got forgotten. Only you can see on the sides there are a few graves which belong to like very well-known people. Still are here. Otherwise, the rest of the graves are forgotten, and the main importance is given to Hafez.
در طی چندین صد سالی که حافظ اینجا دفن هست چندین ضریح خیلی زیبا رو براش کار کرده بودن و هر دفعه این ضریح عوض میشد. ضریح‌های فلزی که با چلنگری طرح‌ها و شکل‌های خیلی زیبایی رو بهش داده بودن.
During the time that Hafez's grave has been here, his shrine has had like different styles or different designs. Mostly it used to be ironwork, which with like beautifully, we call it chalangari style, which is ironwork, beautifully done and nicely done. And this is the final one that you see, which is
این بنا آخرین بناییه که ساخته شده. چیزی حدود 100 سال پیش فردی به نام آندره گودار که اهل فرانسه بوده و شرق شناس بوده، ایران شناس بوده، خیلی علاقمند بوده به ایران، با تخصص معماری وارد ایران میشه. در اون زمان از طرف دولت حمایت میشه که تاریخ معماری ایران رو در طول تاریخ، در طول دوره‌های فرهنگی به نگارش در بیاره و کتاب درست بکنه.
Around 100 years ago, there was a French scholar, Eastern researcher basically, called André Godard. And he was the guy who basically have the design of the tomb and the area, of the architecture of the area. In that time, he was supported by the government of the time, so they've given him the permission to basically record the history of the country and turn it to a book, which still is his books are architecture history of the country, and which those books are still references in the universities.
So we know Hafez was a poet, a scholar. He loved to write things. He was very mystical in some ways. How is that reflected in how he is seen today by the people of Iran?
ببینید حافظ برای خودش در همون زمان و در زمان کنونی یک شخصیت خیلی ویژه بوده، شخصیتی بوده که از تمامی علوم اطلاعات بسیار گسترده و عمیقی رو داشته و میشه گفت کمتر کسی رو در اون زمان میشه پیدا کرد که این همه گستردگی اطلاعات داشته و الان که مطلقاً ما در ایران شاید نداشته باشیم، چرا نخبگان خیلی زیادی داریم توی رشته‌های مختلف، ولی کسی که بتونه همه رشته‌ها رو بهش وارد باشه خیلی کم هستش.
So Hafez was, in his own time, he was a very respectful and respected person, because he was not, as you know, he was a poet, but he was not, his knowledge was not limited only by poetry. From whatever you can imagine, he had knowledge. He knew about poetry, he knew about art, he knew about spiritualism. So then that is the reason he was very respected. And like someone like him, it's unique and you cannot find someone like him.
تمام این اطلاعات و این انرژی بسیار بالا رو میگن یک شایعه است، نمیدونیم آیا اینجوری هست یا نه، ولی خیلی اعتقاد برش هستش که عاشق میشه و این قدرت عشق بوده که تونسته حافظ رو به این کمال برسونه، به این درجه از کمال برسونه و به خاطر اینکه اون عشق رو در خودش نگه داره حاضر شده که چندین دوره 40 روزه، چون این عدد 40 برای ایرانی‌ها از همون قدیم خیلی اهمیت داشته، چندین دوره 40 روزه دور از تمامی اجتماع یک عزلت نشینی بکنه، یک گوشه نشینی بکنه و تمامی این انرژی قدرتمند رو از کائنات تونسته در اون زمان خاص دریافت کنه.
So it's been said, we are not sure because there are not like proper evidence for it, but it's been said that Hafez has got all this power for writing so beautifully by falling in love. And this love was the way, was the thing which made him to put him in the path of perfection, let him go toward the perfection. And he was person because of this love, because of this strong and like deep love he had, he would go take 40 days off from the society, living in a like totally away from the society, living by himself, not talking to anyone, not eating much, not doing anything much. And it's been said that these are the reason that he got this power, he got this beautiful power in his works.
Hello and welcome back to Iran Travel Guide. As I'm sure you can see, we're in a really different location than we have been up till now. We're out in the desert. We've actually traveled down from the northwest of the country, and since this morning we've gone from high mountains with snow on them through a plain area, then up into some rocky, drier mountains, down into an agricultural area with lots of farms and lots of food around, and now we're just coming into the start of the desert.
And yeah, we are not deep into the desert yet.
Not yet.
We're just standing on the edge of the desert. Maybe we go deeper. But for you, if you're interested about deserts, what do you want from a desert?
Well, I mean, deserts, they're just such an inspiring place in a really different way. I mean, I've always been a mountain lover, and where I've come from and the places I've traveled, I've always tried to get to the mountains, but this is really my first time I've ever been in a desert. And we know there's lots of different types of deserts, but just the wide open spaces, the barrenness of it, the colours are so different. Obviously the heat is interesting too, it's important, it's dry heat, but it's such an interesting environment to be in.
Deserts are amazing to be, not only because you see a different types of nature, but it can be like a classroom for you. You can learn a lot from a desert. For me, it is like that. To be in a desert, to see absolutely emptiness. It just feels, and be on myself. It just teach me to be more powerful, to be on to be standing on my own feet.
Yes, it's a really kind of awe-inspiring landscape, and one which I hope we can spend a lot more time in. But Iran has a variety of different deserts, isn't that right?
Yeah, it is true. Depends where you are, you can go to different cities, which are either inside the desert, in the middle of desert, or on the edge of the desert. Cities like Kerman, Yazd, or Kashan.
So the deserts are quite accessible. We can go from one city to another and kind of find different types of deserts. But there are ones like this, which are kind of hilly and scrubby, have a few little plants here and there, maybe some goats wandering around on the fringes. There are ones which are more open sand desert, perhaps more like the Sahara or deserts you might think of before. And there are ones which are sort of semi-arid plains as well, where there's a huge variety of agriculture mixed with drier land. Places where there are rivers part of the year, and then for the summer they dry up.
And the colors of the soil is quite different from desert to desert. And depends on where you are, you can experience different types of desert. For me, another aspect about deserts are the nights. The nights and the beautiful sky. The sky is just pure, absolutely blue and beautiful. You can see the stars as clear as they are.
Yeah, you've got out of the city and you've got this big wide expanse around you, which is just like a huge vaulting arch over your head of pure stars, sky, no clouds in the desert, especially when you go very far into it as well.
We have to go and catch our cameraman. He's standing up there.
Getting some beautiful
yeah, I'm kind of
shots.
jealous. I want to see what he's looking at.
Yeah, so we're going to head up that way. Stay with us for next time.
Stay tuned.
Wow, that's amazing up here.
The sky is so different.
And I mean, although these are little kind of, I can call them mountains, but you know, sort of little hills here. Not only is the sky different, but the soil, everything. I mean, we've come today from heavily fertile green soil, lots of trees, lots of fruit, lots of plants around, and now it's kind of just getting a bit more deserty. I mean, it gets more deserty if we go that way, doesn't it?
If you go further, yeah.
But this is amazing.
It's so beautiful, the shape of this.
Yeah, how everything's dried out.
You can go toward the camera.
So, well, I want to go have a look at that ridge line over there. It's fascinating me. Let's head this way.
Yeah.
After you. Be careful. If we just come over this way, we should get a better view.
Hi, welcome back to Iran Travel Guide. We are here in the north of Iran, standing in a mall, shopping mall. And I want to talk about another aspect of tourism in the world.
Yeah, we know that tourists like to shop. I mean, some of the most famous tourist destinations in the world have become that because of their shopping. If you think about Dubai, for example. But here in Iran, there may be a misconception that shopping is something which is not good here. But in fact, that's not the case.
It's not the case because there are lots of modern shopping malls in the country, and everywhere, in different cities of the country, where you can buy whatever you want from any brand or any places that you want.
Yes, there are designer labels, there are technological firms, there are all sorts of things you can buy here which you may not have realized.
And also, you can find things that you might call it the traditional clothes of each country. Here in Iran, you can find the traditional clothes, traditional style of the country.
Iran is famous for its bazaars. Some of the big cities have really old, brilliantly architectured bazaars. But in fact, some of the shopping malls are equally big and are equally memorable too for a tourist.
And also equally modern from any other shopping mall in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So come with us as we have a look around the mall. We're going to be looking at some things, maybe try a few things on, we don't know.
I might buy a couple of things.
You might, yeah, we'll see about that. I might buy them first.
I think you need a couple of new t-shirts.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, let's go have a look for some. I'm sure we can find some useful stuff here.
Yeah, we need actually to buy some stuff for the house.
True, for our cooking.
As you know, we're just married recently, so we still need a lot of stuff for the house. Some cooking stuff for you?
Some plastic fruit, perhaps.
I quite like the plates, like these.
Maybe they're all like hand painted.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to touch them, but I am. And they're like really cheap. Prices, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
This is in Riyadh as well.
Yes.
Even cheaper. What about this dressing gown? Bought for you.
That's nice. Oh, wow. These are nice.
Yeah, very nice. What would you use something like this for?
Which one? This one?
This one there. This is a tray.
Yeah, this is like a jewel box. You can keep your jewels and all. But this is a tray. It has a very special role in Iranian house and families, cultures, because we serve tea on it. And tea is the most important drink here.
I mean, even being here a short time, you realize that.
Those are pretty nice.
What's the name for this one?
We call it estekan.
Estekan.
It actually has a nice story, which comes from the word Eastern can, which when Westerners came to the East and found this, the name they gave it, it was like a can from East.
Because of the metal.
Yeah. No, like not the metal one only, even the normal ones. Some flowers.
Very nice.
This is quite nice.
What is it?
It's a candle. Oh wow. It's not how I thought it would be.
Back to some more clothes. Handbags.
Some clocks here.
Plants. You know we love plants. Very nice.
Sunflowers. Beautiful. This guy over here.